Hello everyone, Surratt here, and what you see here is Castlevania the Adventure, or the Castlevania Adventure, or Adventure the Castlevania. I'm not quite sure, I think the official name is Castlevania the Adventure, but the font really makes it look like the Castlevania Adventure. I don't think it matters much in the end. This was a Game Boy game, it was made by Konami. I'm pretty sure it had most, but not all, of the original Castlevania staff working on it. And they took some liberties. But since we have finished with Simon's games, the 2 and then Revamped was just recorded. I just finished recording that one earlier today. I thought we would take a look at Christopher's in the timeline. Christopher being the direct, I think it was Trevor and Silpha's son. I'm not I think that's where Christopher Belmont lies. I'm not great at the Castlevania lores. I know this was supposed to take place sometime in the late 1400s on the timeline somewhere. So I'm assuming that's either Trevor's son or grandson. But yeah, Christopher Belmont is who we are controlling this time. And I'm not going to lie, this is not a great game. I believe the sequel was a little better, but this one has issues. First off, you don't have sub-weapons. All you have is your whip. Now, the whip does launch out fireballs when you get it powered up to the 3rd level, but this game also has an annoying little thing to where if you take any hit from any enemy anywhere, it powers you down, much like, Mario losing a mushroom when he gets hit. It doesn't power you all the way back to the leather whip. You start out with the leather whip, then you get the morning star, then you get a morning star with a fireball. And getting hit knocks you down 1 peg. However, just to make this game tolerable and short, because it's a Game Boy game, made before they put batteries in these things. There is no password system, so it's a very short game at 4 levels long. It follows the original Castlevania formula. You travel along a linear path, you whip a bunch of things, dodge a bunch of fireballs and such, fight a boss, move on to the next one. But that whole thing, but Christopher, if you've seen the movie Zootopia, and most people have, that I know of anyway, I think the sloths at the DMV were modeled after the main character, because he moves like he has a crippling case of arthritis. This game apparently happened when Christopher was already like 50 or 60 years old, and he moves like really slowly. The ROM hack I got fixes both the issue of him moving as slow as he does originally, and the whip powering down when you get hit. Now he moves about what you would expect a Belmont to move like. But anyway, let's see this. Like I said, this game is not one of the better ones in the Castlevania franchise. Also, I believe if we skip this candle right here, we will get a 1-up later, so we're going to avoid it. It doesn't really have anything we care about too deeply anyway. I think it's just money if we get it now. Those little balls you see that fall from the whips are the power-ups. They are the only way to power up your whip. If you die, for any reason, falling down a pit, hit points depleted, you go back to the lowest power whip. The ROM hack does not fix that. That is still how it happens. But in this version, they did change some sprites to make the hearts look like hearts. And in this game, unlike other Castlevania games, the hearts are recovery items. And not, since you don't have sub-weapons, you don't have anything to spend your hearts on if you did gather them for, any reason. You don't have sub-weapons. And meet the exploding eyeballs. they're going to become... There's the 1-up that you get if you skip the first candle. Invincibility juice. It allows you to, here, is this the right spot? No, that's not the right spot. This guy, if you hit him with the fireball, he jumps, but if you manage to smack him with the actual Morning Star and not just the fireball, he will die quicker. He will die in 1 hit instead of 2. And these birds right here are almost always the source of you losing the power, your whip power up the first time you play through. Sometimes they actually do dive straight at you from ahead. Most of the time they double back on you like that. And we will get to a scene where they and the little creatures that drop down made out of mud, they will both come after us at the same time, forcing us to pick whichever side we want to use. That's not the right one. Eyeballs are just going to go up and up and up. We need to be quick. Invincibility juice is right there. This way. I believe right here is where we can go find a secret room. There's 1 secret room per stage. And they all have fun stuff in them that you will want. If you needed it, a 1-up, a power-up, little health restore. I don't believe we can get anything going here. We just have to go back the way we came. And you can't just walk off. Chris will at least grab that rope on his own without needing any directional input from you. Just in case you get hit, you can do that. There are no more hidden rooms on this stage, there's only the 1. However, right here, if you have lost your whip power up, you're kinda SOL, but there's a 1-up over there. And an extra whip power up. So now we have this little problem. And we are about to meet the first area where you can actually fairly easily lose life. Because the controls are, remember, the controls are not great for this game. A little sketchy at times. Like right then, it was eating my inputs to actually fire the whip. Because sometimes it will not cancel the animations on you sometimes. So these platforms right here will fall. I will jump on them and then have a very brief second to jump off before I am doomed. And you gotta keep moving the whole time. Luckily, they aren't that difficult. This candle right here, you're not gonna see what it drops unless you're away from it. It's health. Now we get to meet the bats. The bats are the worst thing in this game, in the first stage anyway. Not overall, not the entire game, just this first stage. And they do respawn when you walk off screen. So hopefully you have that. Now we've got to jump across all these. And it's not... You'd think you could just go hop, hop, hop. No, that's a way to quickly frustrate yourself. Gym power-up orb there, just in case you need it. And right here, we find the first boss. Now the boss will not show up until we whip that candle right there and grab that. That is not a whip power-up orb, but that is a orb that's an orb that summons this guy. And he's not shooting fireballs at us. Ow. He is not shooting fireballs at us. He is, just reflecting the fireball we've got, so you can't even hit him with the fireball. I jumped a little bit earlier. I wouldn't have gotten hit against him. I don't know what the second tally of points is. But there we go. That is stage 1 of Castlevania the Adventure. The other stages are, well, not much. They're not really much longer than that. But you know how it is. I really don't want to do more than one stage of this at a time because it's kind of a ass. I don't know a nice way to put what this game feels like to play, but it don't feel good. It's just close enough to Castlevania to make you think it should be Castlevania, but it doesn't feel exactly right. And this is the ROM hacked version, which gets it closer. But it's still missing a little. It still doesn't quite feel good. Maybe it's the lack of sub-weapons, I don't know. But we are going to finish this game. Christopher didn't deserve to be in these games. He deserved much better games. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But anyway, that's enough for today. When we return, we will do stage 2 here, and the hidden room is a little bit more interesting to try to find in this one. It involves blowing up an eyeball over the right spot to open up a hole. And it's not an obvious spot, we'll just say that. But anyway, that's enough for me today. So until next time, take care everyone.